Alright guys, we're working on the '09 Beetle. This headlight bulb went out. Ironically, this one with the cracked housing still works. We're gonna just swap both. Let me show you part numbers here. Again, we hit up Rock Auto. They sent me the 80s Camaro this time for the magnet. As I drop my tools. Here is the bulb, Sylvania OEM. So from the factory, Volkswagen must put these in. Where's my part number at? Is it H7BX? April 4th, 2025. I think you can just go off of that. Let me look at this box. Yeah, part number SYL Sylvania H7BX. I got two of them. And this is what they look like new in the box. You can see the little coil inside the bulb housing. Fresh, brand new. We got their two prongs for our two wires to connect to. So let me grab what I got here. This is my setup. I got a 1/4 inch ratchet. I got a 6-inch long extension and a 5mm dipole socket. And oh, it started to rain. So all I gotta do is get my 5mm on that hex sticking out right there. Let's see if I can focus in on it. Yes. And once I loosen that, it should pop the headlight housing slightly off of the bumper. And then with my flathead screwdriver, I can push down on this metal tab right here. Right there, just like that. And I should be able to slide the headlight housing out, and it will come off this plug right here actually. Now it's raining, so I'm gonna do this quickly, do it off camera, but I am gonna disconnect the battery as well. So always be sure to do that when working on anything electrical on your car, really anything at all in general. And I can just disconnect the positive side here, that'll work, or the negative. So let me get that done, and I'll put the headlight housing in the garage. And be advised when you're taking out that this connector is supposed to stay in a track, and it's supposed to pull out from the connection there. So I'm gonna put this headlight right inside real quick and try to see if I can show you. I believe the connector sits somewhere like right there. It's not supposed to move with the headlight. It's supposed to stay in place. So leave that there for now, and then we will work fast because again, like I said, it's raining. Let me just grab the tools, and I can lower the hood for now, but not completely shut it. And that should be fine. I got the battery disconnected. Okay, I'll get my tools inside. Kind of doing this on the fly. I'll keep my flathead with me. Okay, so we'll come over here. Oh, we need to clear a space on the workbench. What a novel concept. Okay, so now you can get our headlight, and this bulb we can actually save because we know this one's actually still good. If you look on the back here, you're gonna have this metal clip, and I believe all I have to do is pry it up over these black tabs here. And the thing the previous owner had done, at some point they had just put tape here, so I actually had to take a piece of straight rod and bend it in such a way to make this bracket again. So, you know, just a little ingenuity can go a long way for a simple repair. And this can actually come all the... Do I need to take this all the way out? Oh, no, I don't. Okay, so the back cover comes off. I can put that to the side. And if we look here, I believe it's just this guy right here is my H7 bulb. Yep, you can see it right there. H7. It says 2070. That's not going to be my date. I was going to see if there was a date on it. And then this must be for the high beams, because the high beams still worked when I was driving late at night just to get me by. And then the small one is probably for the turn signal. So yeah, but this is definitely my main bulb for my main headlight. And it's kind of a projector light, if you can see that there. So yeah, that lines up. So all I should have to do here, let me sit down on the chair. This nice little thing Mr. Nico gave me, this sliding cart with drawers in it. I think this guy just I think the whole thing just unclips. And then I just have a clip here that I can take out. Let me get 2 hands on it and I'll be back with you. Yeah, so that clip just comes right off. You got 2 wire spades there and the connector. And then this guy, if you just feed it up out of here, I just use the flathead and kind of pry it against this little lip and against the metal rod, and I got that out. And then it came out of the little cutout, little slot here. And then this guy up top will also come on down, and then the whole thing will kind of come loose, and then you can get it out of your way. I'll put that off the side, don't lose it, and I can take out the old bulb. Like I said, this one is still okay, so I'll go ahead and save it as a backup. But the other one, I will be tossing that, and I'll make sure not to mix it up because I'll mark old on one of them. And then yeah, it's just the complete opposite. Going back with the new one, and it actually sits down in between these 2 prongs right here, because once I do that, then you'll see the whole thing go in nice and flush. So I'll line it up. If I come to the side with you, see that? Now we're in business. So, and of course the prongs are vertical up and down instead of horizontal left and right from each other. So always take good pictures or video on the teardown, so that way when you put the new stuff in, you know how it all goes back together. All right, I got the bracket back on. The bulb is in there nice and snug, nice and tight. Now, I was gonna put the plug on and go throw it back in the car, but I have to, I can't not show you this. It must be shown. So, if it'll focus, parts of this wire are exposed, and I got some cracks in the insulation. So I put some tape here. This is definitely a long-term temporary measure. Really, you should run new wire. And if you have an older car, like this car is 16 years old, you should always inspect your wiring whenever you're working on something, because you don't want a short to be caused. If these 2 wires touch each other, touch, any sort of metal in this housing, it's going to cause a short, it's going to blow a fuse, and you'll be tracking down electrical gremlins probably for hours. So just always inspect your wiring closely. I may have to put some tape around these wires as well now that I'm looking at them. Yeah, you can see it right there. So just a public service announcement to always be inspecting those, because no car is perfect. Every car wears out in its own ways, but overall, these cars wear out. All cars wear out generally the same in a lot of ways. So we'll do that. We'll put some tape around it and we'll keep it going. And maybe one day we'll be having to run new wires. You never know how long this Beetle's gonna last me. Already at 135,788 miles and counting. Great news, guys. I could leave the battery and the airbox in place. I got a long screwdriver, and I just have that tab pried, just pressure down on that tab with the weight of the screwdriver. And then the headlight housing came out, and the best part is the plug with the orange rubber seal on it stayed in place. I got my screwdriver with 5mm. I unlocked the mechanism for the headlight housing, and look at that. one driver's side headlight out and ready to take to the workbench. So I will swap out this bulb. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can show you the state. Oh, look at that, that pops up. Now that's factory, the way they did this one. Mine, you see, is shaped a little differently, or bent a little differently. So let's take a look at the bulb that's not working and see the condition of it. So, take my connector off. I might need 2 hands to get the metal prong off. Again, with my wiring, you can see right there. Yes, see, I got a split in the insulation. I'll fix that. Okay, it's raining. Let me get my tools out of the way and the hood lowered. I'm sorry, this thing keeps focusing in and out. And I'll show you the state of this bulb. Okay, I got the new and old side by side. So on the left, this is the new bulb. On the right, this is the old bulb. You can see some slight discoloration down the bottom right section. And the tiny spring in there, it's hard to tell, but when I look at it very closely, I think I can see a split. But nothing other than that is jumping out to me. So really all I can do is put in the new bulb and again check my wiring here. I mean, it didn't blow a fuse, the bulb just was out. So we'll put the new one in and see what it does. But yeah, looking at the old one, again, besides the discoloration, nothing's quite jumping out at me. So let me know side by side if you see anything, and let me know in the comments. Okay guys, moment of truth. We're gonna key on. We're gonna flip the lights. Blue means headlight should be on. And we'll go take a look. Okay, this one is on. Unfortunately, this one is still not on. Dang it. Okay. We are going to have to investigate this one further. New bulb did not work. Unfortunately, a rare instance where my repair did not do the trick. Well, I'll get back to you. Well, boys, we're right back with it, and sometimes it's even more simple than you think. So, all it is the connection is just a little loose. Right down in here, where the orange insulation, that's the little gasket, and the headlight housing is pressed right behind it into the white connector. And watch what happens when I give it a little pry. Hang on, I just did it for me. Look at that. Boom, light on, light off, light off. On, off. All with the screwdriver, prying on that little connector. Okay, so I just got to tighten it up, and that might have been my whole problem. But you know what? Why not have new bulbs in the car? Maybe they'll help me out seeing a little bit better at night. I've already polished the headlight housing, so I honestly, I could be due for that again. But we got fresh bulbs in it, and we figured out the problem. And even though we didn't diagnose it correctly, because that old bulb looked pretty good. It usually will have a split in part of the filament. But yeah, we figured it out. I'm happy about that. That's all that really matters, and we'll get this thing up and running. Okay, we tweaked the connector around a little bit, trying to get in the right spot. It's very complicated how Volkswagen does everything with all these little plastic odds and ends. But they have it like everything is just so. And in the factory, they're like, or in the design studio with the engineers, they're like, oh, we'll do this, this, and this with all these little plastic tabs and doohickeys, and it'll all be perfect. But in the real world, sometimes these random things happen. So I got the plug a little closer, slid the headlight in, and I'll tighten it down, and it should be good. And we will be back to driving this thing. It's a rainy day today. I can drive it at night again, because in Virginia, if you have to use your windshield wipers, you must have your headlights on.